We have a great program for you. Let's get it underway. Stephen Chambly at Chandor Gardens.
Hi, my name's Stephen Chambly. I'm the horticulturist here at Chandor Gardens in Weatherford, Texas. The garden was designed and built by Douglas Chandor, and he was a portrait artist. He worked on the garden from 1936 to 1953 when he passed away. Ina continued the garden until 1978 when she passed away. The garden went fallow for 16 years following that, and a couple called the Bradfords bought it in 1994, revived it a little bit. The city bought it in 2002. So this garden has an artist's influence on it. He built with basic classic European design around the house, and then as time went on and he came outward, he got bitten by the Chinese garden bug. So the outer areas of the garden have a definitive Chinese influence to them. I'm standing right here on the garden's first element, which is a pathway that connected the new Chandor house with the old Cuteman family house where Ina grew up. And it's inscripted with a saying in Latin, and it's backwards, so it's a puzzle. But translated, it literally says, "May this little garden flourish, consecrated to Ina in the year of our Lord Edward VIII forevermore." And that year was 1936. What makes Chandor special, it's a smaller scale, it's about 3.5 acres. It's a more personal garden. It was never designed to accommodate 1,000 people at a time. We have a bowling green, which is incidentally where most people get married. The fountains are all handmade and handcrafted. The entire garden has an ancient kind of feel to it. I think Douglas probably designed the garden to look 100 years old when he was working on it. Chandor was way ahead of his time over here. He used Coca-Cola and 7-Up bottles off in the fountain down here. He used beer bottles in the moon gate over here. He used an old tractor transmission case for a fountain over here. And so there's all sorts of little reuse, recycle things in this garden embedded that are from the 40s. Right now I'm standing on the bridge at Chandor Gardens. This is the kind of one of the classic elements that Douglas left. It's kind of a portal into another area of the garden. And Douglas was big on portals. He did a lot of tunnels, he did a lot of arches. He wanted to create a very mysterious garden, yet still have some very classic and definitive architectural elements in it. Waterfall is actually about 20 feet tall. It is built of mossy sandstone boulders from Palo Pinto County, just west of here. But the size of some of these boulders is truly incredible. There's some of them I'm gonna figure probably weigh 5 or 6 tons. The fact that they were able to build this with that size boulders is truly incredible. The pergola behind me is very characteristic of Chandor Gardens. It was created to frame the garden, and this ram is one of a set of 2 that are original artwork for the garden. And they're kind of precious to us because we don't have much of the original sculptures from the garden. Chandor Gardens is rich in history, and it's got some unique features that you won't find anywhere else. It's a great place to come visit, whether for a day or, as I have, a long time. Come out and see us sometime. You'll find it worth your while.
I will never forget the first time I went to Chandor Gardens. I took about 15 or 20 rolls of film. I've been back digitally many times since. It's a great place, and we'll be going back there thanks to Stephen Chambly. We're going to have more from him in just a second as he shows us how to prepare shade gardens. In the meanwhile, let me suggest to you that this is the time of year you need to put out a pre-emergent weed killer. You put it out now and you come back 90 days later, and the reason for applying it at these times is to keep crabgrass and grass burrs ever from germinating. If you put them out, you'll have a beautiful lawn, but you need a pre-emergent applied now and again 90 days later. You can also see our virtual online calendar at digindfw.com.